conceptualize, and then to raise their hand and act. Since we are the brand who's asking them questions, hopefully they will come to us for the solutions.
Brilliant. That's a very, very innovative way of looking at how to manage a category that you can't see or feel or touch. It's completely intangible. Finally, Abhijit, a quick one from you. What I learned from you is that the brand can transit from functional values to social values. In this case, the other thing I learned was it's not just about communication, it is about what the brand does. So the pepper spray and all of that is the bobblehead are things that you did. Is that a fixed journey that the brand needs to go from functions to higher order benefits? Do they coexist in your mix? The functional messaging and the social value messaging? Or as you go up, you abandon the functional messaging? If you can enlighten us about that.
I think it's an interesting question and a debate that we keep on having. Is that, do we want to jettison the functional messaging and get onto so to say an emotional messaging on this? And on a category like this, which potentially so far is low involvement, most people don't think about it. Maybe creating an emotional response by jettisoning a functional messaging might be a challenge. And hence you potentially have to be rooted in the functional messaging and create an emotional conversation about it. With slightly more involved consumers, you could create side conversations on emotional messaging. It's not that nobody knows about TAS. There are a set of very small people who would do that. You could do it. When you create the social messaging, you're building it stronger, but jettisoning it entirely and getting onto social messaging might be a challenge given the space the category is in. It was left to us, to marketers, to possibly move it up to that level, but that's how it is.
Brilliant. So just to remind you, we have an even as interesting a panel after this. I don't want to take time away from them, so I'm going to restrict the questions from the audience to the next 7 minutes. You are all going to be here during lunchtime, right? Running away. So all of them are going to be here during lunch. So if you have additional questions, please feel free to walk up to them and ask them your questions. Right now, 7 minutes for questions from the audience. Please identify yourself by name and tell us who you want to ask the question to. Any questions? Yes? Pradeep? Can somebody give a mic to Pradeep? Be careful, he's been a professor at Wharton and Columbia.
Don't believe it. I'm sort of reminded of categorization of consumers that used to exist many years ago. And that categorization said that if you look at consumers according to values, attitudes, lifestyles, you'll cut across all other demographics, or all demographics. And sure enough, it was true that you found various age categories represented almost uniformly in brackets which said, these are my values, these are my attitudes, etc. I'm yet to be comfortable about how millennials are different from any other category of consumer, other than superficial descriptors, exposure to social media, etc. But if we look at fundamental drivers of consumer behavior, values, attitudes, lifestyles, etc., do we have any basis to say that yes, we are justified in using a distinctive label called millennials, because this is how they're different from pre-millennials or pre-60s, or whatever the generational term we may be wanting to use.
Good. So, Suparna, you want to respond since you are a specialist in dealing with youngsters?
It's a very, very interesting question. And first off, I must say that some of the qualifications of millennials, and I'm nowhere near that. I'm double the age of the average millennial. But sometimes I do have this suspicion that I'm a millennial. I spend a lot of time on social media. I do all my shopping online. I have more friends, in the virtual world than I actually meet in the real world. And I seek authenticity. I think that the world is something that we need to leave the world a better place than when we came in. So does that make me a millennial? No, of course not. So I totally understand where you're coming from. But I think there are 3 or 4 things by virtue of which, certainly in India, this generation who's currently in their 20s is different from the generation that was in their 20s maybe 15 or 20 years ago. Number one is how much of exposure they have and how much of confidence they have. So people who are in their, if you were 20 years old in the early 90s or in the 90s, I think, there was a very deep insecurity because your parents had not seen it all, especially from a material point of view. There was great anxiety. And therefore, a lot of choices, life choices, career choices, relationship choices, money investment, when you buy your first house, when you buy your first car, these were big, big markers of success. Today's 20 to 25-year-old, they've been there, done that. They don't want the house. They don't want the car. They are perfectly fine. They don't think of those possessions as markers in their progress. So I feel that is why, for example, all of the shared economy and all of that is coming. The second very big point, and that point goes back to my earlier point, which is on technology, is that technology has altered all of us. And maybe it's because the millennials have adopted it, embraced it, have led it. They are the ones who are at the forefront of this. So they really see a brave new world that the rest of us are, trying to get a visa into. So there are some fundamental ways in which being 25-year-old is different from being a 50-year-old, in my opinion.
Anybody else wants to add? No? Okay. Any other questions?
Can I speak?
Yes. Who? I can't see. Yes. Can you please identify yourself?
The question is for Sarvesh.
Sarvesh.
You spoke of graphene. Now, graphene is also a material, but you said the graphene in your case was something trademarked or something like that. Can you just explain those? What are those new age products that you're speaking of? What are the materials that you're speaking of? And I saw what easiness. Are those steel made? Are those these new age products?
Yeah. So easy vests are made of steel, completely steel, and it's fabricated by our set of fabricators. And we take the orders in terms of the set, in terms of delivering the whole solution. So that is something which we, through our channel partners, provide. Coming to the first question, graphene. Now, graphene is a product. The product that we have made, which we have patented, is a plant-based graphene resin, which comes out. And this technology of making graphene is what we have patented. The advantages of graphene would be, as you would understand, four major advantages. One is that far superior mechanical properties, far superior thermal properties, far superior electrical properties. So the usage of this technology, and it also has a very good barrier coating. So the usage of this technology is still in the kind of a discovery stage. What Tata Steel has started doing is that the rebar that we talked about, Tata Tiscon rebars, we are coming out with graphene coated rebars. So what it would do is to prevent the rebars from getting rusted, because it has a very superior graphene, very superior barrier coating. It has similar applications in fields which are still being discovered. So as I said, these are complete new category which Tata Steel is getting into. We're still in a discovery stage. We did 500 crore business last year. The other part of which I talked about, the FRPs. Now we already have made a couple of bridges made of these alternate materials, which are resin and these composite materials. One which we have created in our plant in Jamshedpur, which has great properties to hold the weight that it can carry. Similarly, we are pitching it against the railway coaches that's getting built up. So what you see inside railway coaches, the kind of mechanics which are getting used, is all getting into sourced or made through such kind of composites.
If there are